Just a different stance, just a different way, same technique. Now let's go into the self-defense application. So again, we have to learn to read the attack. So on this one, he's gonna pull us, or she's gonna pull us in this case, and we're just gonna go with it and shut her down. Please. And bang. The next one, I refer to this as a left leg step back, okay? The technique that we show from each one of the self-defense techniques, or even for the punches that matter, is not the only one that can be done from that. Even though I'm very systematic from a teacher standpoint, I show techniques to build up a progression. And what I mean by that is that there are many other things that could be done, including rear gaze from all of these techniques, but what I try to do is spread them around. So this one is a left leg step back. The next one might be a rock and roll. The next one might be a shutdown. The next one might be go with. But they could all be interlaced. But from a systematic standpoint, you got to learn the alphabets the way it's taught, A, B, C. And that's what I'm doing you right now when I'm showing you these techniques. So on this next technique, it's going to be called a left leg step back. The person's pushing on us. We're going to go with the push, right? The person's pushing on us. Why fight? When the person pulled, we went with. When the person pushes, we're gonna go with, wrap that hand around the person's head, step back with the left leg, hence the reason why I call it left leg step back, and we got our technique. So, corkscrew square with a push, steps back, left leg steps, bang. And always remember, where the head goes, the body follows. That's why she goes down so nicely. Okay. This one is a little bit more of a traditional technique that takes a little bit more than a video to teach, but we'll demonstrate it. When the person pulls now, what we're going to do is we're going to go with the pull, all right? And we're going to raise the palm up. For now, that's all I'm going to give you. We're going to raise the palm up. The footwork on this is a little bit different. We're going to step first with the right leg, okay? Almost like a soccer kick. We're going to step with the right leg and let the hand get pulled. As we do that, this right leg is going to be what we catapult off. We're going to come up, extend the hand, and bring the person down. Little tough to learn on video, but doesn't mean you can't see it and demonstrate it and work on it. Or when we reopen, a technique would be a good question. Okay, so as the person pulls on the straight, he goes with, he comes up and brings her right down. Again, at any given time, as she platforms or stops or tries to resist, he has a beautiful elbow strike right to the clavicle or windpipe there. Let's look at that one more time. On the side? Yeah. Yeah, right there, and boom. Okay. The next technique will be a double straight wrist grab, which is very similar to what we just did, but now we're going to change the levels of the hand so they're grabbing us and pulling us. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to come up and we're going to bring the person right down. All right, let's do that one. Beautiful. On a straight wrist grab, another variation with a push, we're just going to take the push that they're going with, and we're going to just take the person down with that going with type technique. So remember, the big thing with the renegade is reading what the person's doing. So as she pushes, he goes with, and she takes her down in the direction that she wants to go. Now, remember earlier, we did the front finger choke, or we did a technique into what we call that rock and roll. Well, here's where it's going to lie again. The person goes to put a front finger choke. As the person's putting on the choke, we're going to come through the middle, come around to the back of the head. The person decides to pull back up, and then we're going to shut them down with a rock and roll technique. Watch. Right from here, and boom. Obviously, there are other variations that Shihan can do in that movement, but again, keeping it as a system, we're showing you this one. So that's the one from there. Now on the technique from a rear finger choke, we're gonna go back to that left leg step back, right? So as the person pushes, we're gonna come around here, and then we're gonna step back with that left leg. Okay, so watch. Comes around, hooks the head, steps back with the left leg, and brings her right down. Okay, beautiful. With a rear finger choke, we're going to pull in some of the basic techniques that we know. Okay, so with a rear finger choke, the first thing you learn is how to do an Osotogari from a rear forearm choke. So the principles still stay the same with a rear forearm choke. We want to pin the hand, right? We don't pull the hand down, we pin it to X strength. If you look at some of the previous video, Xing strength means that the person cannot develop any strength if you push the hand into the person's body. Always tucking in the chin to protect the windpipe and turning your head to the side. Now, like we did when we taught you the Osotogari, the leg sweep, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to turn in But because now we're knowledgeable about the Rimini-Gay, instead of using our leg to take them down, the person decides to pull back on us after we turn, and we're just gonna take the person down and do what we call a close quarter Rimini-Gay, shut the person down and bring the person right down to the ground. So watch, from here, yeah, he pins, he tucks, from here, one little elbow strike to the face, boom, turns inside like he's gonna do that at Soto-Gary. From there, boom, he steps back and shuts her right down. Again, if for some reason he got caught when he turned and felt that he needed to do a Soto-Gary, he could have. If he wanted to do a choke, he could have. If he wanted to do a roundhouse elbow strike, he could have. But we're working on a Rimini-Gay, so that's what we're doing now. But it's not the only piece to the puzzle. So watch that one more time. Same way, same thing. Right, tucks the chin, one little elbow strike from here, turns, sees the person's going in that direction, so he takes her in the direction. So you always gotta remember, a Rimini-Gay is like, if you had to go through a door, you should check the door first. If you just had to push the door open, the door would open up with no hassle. But if the door was locked, you might have to kick it down or take a bat and break it, okay? A Rimini-Gay is when you go to push on the door and the door is open, because we know where the off balance is, so we know how to go with it. All right? If the door was locked, we would do a different technique. So again, a little bit more of a technical technique, but worth it. Okay, so now the next one is gonna be a rear shoulder grab. Now this one is gonna be a power step. So with this one, it's a quick technique. We're gonna come around and shut the person right down with this one. So as soon as he makes that turn, he's gonna go right into like close quarter. Boom, and shuts her down right there. Very quick technique, very nice technique. Okay, rear overarm bear hug is a little bit different, because with the rear overarm bear hug, we could do the same thing that we did from the forearm choke, but now, because the person's pulling us up with momentum, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna roll, pin the hand so we can't put us into a choke, but then we're gonna step back and we're gonna bring the person down in the direction they're pulling us anyway. They're pulling us this way, we're just going in the direction they're pulling us. Bang, he steps back from here, and just right up and right down. Remember, we're not creating or building the technique. The uke, or the person attacking us, they are. We're just going with what they're doing. It's kind of like life. When you're fighting, a lot of people are fighting now because they're home with each other. Highest divorce rates in China, they say, you know. It's not always important about being right. It's important about being happy. So sometimes you gotta learn to go with things, okay? And when you learn to go with things, life's a lot easier than when you're constantly fighting. Okay, last technique at this category, well, not last technique, but we have two more techniques at this category, and then we're gonna go on to another video, all right? So this one is gonna be a hammerlock. So with the hammerlock, we're going to use a power step, so close quarter. So we're gonna come out, we're gonna go right in and bang, shut the person down, hammerlock. We're using the same principles that we taught you at Orange Belt. All right? Turn and shuts the person down, done deal, okay? And then you got two-hand wrist grab from the back, and this one's gonna end up with a left leg step back. All right, so as the person pushes, from here, he's gonna walk out the front door, make the escape, grab the person's head, left leg step back, and he brings it right back. Perfect. We're gonna stop this video right now because I don't like to go over 20 minutes, okay? And then we're gonna come back part 2 with attacks from a stick, okay? Always remember, American Jiu-Jitsu LI Facebook group, American Jiu-Jitsu LI YouTube. Go to those sites to see these videos. And also we have our Zoom classes 6 days a week. Go to my website, ajjcenters.com, and you'll have all the information you need to go to one of our classes. We'll be back with part 2, and that'll be a weapon defense with a Rimini-Gay. Stay home, stay healthy, stay safe. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day, people.